Hi, Debbie here with a project share for Kokorosa, and I will have links to the dyes and their store and the 25% off discount code in the description box below. What I did is I used the ivy dye and I used the dome balcony double window dye. You saw that in my unboxing, and this is what I came up with. I made a tag. So this is the tag I made. I have it hanging up, so that's why I'll reach over there and grab it in just a minute, but just to give you an idea what it looks like. So like I said, I'll have all the information in the description box below. I need to turn my camera so I can see what I'm doing, because I definitely cannot see where I'm at. Way over here, because I have the camera pointing up. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to get too much closer than that, I don't think. Here we go. Just to give you an idea how this turned out. There is a tutorial right after this, so you can see how I put this together. And so yeah, so this is the tag. And so yeah, let me hang it back up. There we go, just to get it out of my hands. So there's a 25% discount code. There is a link to Kokorosa's store, and I will have links to the dyes that I used. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now. Hi, Debbie here with a Kokorosa project share. Now you saw this dye in my unboxing for Kokorosa, and I will have links to all the products that I'm going to be using from Kokorosa in the description box below, where you can go over and check them out, and also the coupon code for a very nice 25% off code. So let me take this dye over to my die cutting machine, and I'll be right back. Okay, well I cut out all the pieces. Now on this die, I needed to cut the little hinges. These are the little hinges that you get. And I cut that out 4 times, so I needed 4. And then for the shutter, I needed to cut that out twice. So I'd have a shutter on each side. But what I want to do, I want to put something behind these open areas here. So I need to go through my pattern papers and see if I can find some kind of a design to put behind this, and then I'll cut that out, and then I'll show you what I came up with. Okay, this is what I picked to go inside the openings here. The paper that I'm using is the Graphic 45 Birdsong, so I picked this out, and I picked those out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a tag. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move everything over to my tag and get everything situated on my tag, and then I'll inlay all these little pieces very carefully so I don't lose them. And but first I want to know what I want for a background for my tag. I don't know if I want to keep it just plain like this, or if I want to ink it up or paint it or just put some pattern paper on there. So let me go ahead and see what I want to do with that, and then I'll come back and then we'll start putting the pieces together on the tag. Okay, I think I'm going to use this as my background for my tag. So I just need to, because this is pretty too, but I decided to be too busy. So I'm going to just add some glue to the tag. Well, maybe add some glue to the tag. Okay, give me a minute, this is a little clogged. Okay, it was clogged really bad. I had to actually give it a good rinse. So let me just glue this down. Okay, I'm going to go take this over to my paper trimmer and trim this paper away. Okay, so this is what we have. I just have that on there. I might round the corners, I'm not sure yet, but I am definitely going to be putting some holes here and maybe have a little chain, but I'll do that in a little bit. But what I'm thinking right now, since I've only done this with just one piece of cardstock, I think I'm going to run this die for these two more times just to give this a little bit more thickness and dimension. So let me go ahead and do that, and we'll go from there. Okay, so let's add a little bit of glue here. Okay, and then we'll just do one more. Yeah, this is going to make it a little bit thicker, which is what I'd like. And then when I put the pattern paper inside, it'll be like an inlay. So that'll look nice. Then I'll put this on. Okay, now I'm going to do the same for these right here. Okay, so they're all together, and they do have a little bit more thickness to them than just one layer cardstock. So now I just need to see where I want to glue those on here. Oh, I need to put this down first, because this is going to actually get glued on top of that, like so. So I want it. So it's going to look like that. Might want to lower it just a little bit. And now I know where I can put my punches, so let me go I'm going to go ahead and punch out my holes for my chain. I'm going to go ahead and glue these two pieces together first before I do anything else, so that I can make sure I set this where I want it to be. So let me go ahead and do that. I might even put a little foam tape on the top of this, since this is now going to be raised a little bit. Make sure it's even on both sides. So that's what I have here. Yeah, now I don't have to worry about it moving around too much. And I have a couple of not many eyelets. I might just go with these little brass ones. Oh, I might go with black, I think. I'll just use these little black ones. That's what I think. I'll make sure they're black. And yeah. So let me go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and just glue this down and get a little. Let me get some foam tape to put on the back of that. Okay, so I just got some little foam tape back there, because now it lays nice and flat. So I just need to glue that down. So let's take the backing off of this. So let me do that. There we go. And let's put some glue on here. Sorry if I'm out of the camera here. And I guess that'll do it. Put that there. Flip it around. And hope that it's right side up. And I think that looks good just like that. That's what we have. So let me see where I want to make my, I want them here. So I'm just going to measure this, and then I'll mark it here, and then I'll punch it out. Okay, I marked my 2 spots. I'm going to be using this small punch. So I just need to find it in here, and then I'll just punch it. There we go. Okay, I got my 2 holes punched. Now I just need to set my eyelet, which I am very, very bad at. I don't know why, but I'm just not very good at putting these in and setting them. I don't know what I do wrong. Oh, that one turned out pretty good. Usually I'm terrible at this. That's why I don't do it very often. You don't see me do this very often because for some reason I'm just... And that one turned out really good too. Hey, it's my lucky day. Well, anyway, this is what we have. So now I'm going to need to take some tweezers and my glue, and I'm just going to, because I have these tweezers because I have no nails, I cut all my nails off and it's very hard to pick things up with no nails. And I'm just going to go ahead and just start setting everything inside. You know, how I'll have everything set in, and then I'll come back and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I've got this in, so that's how that looks. So they're kind of inlaid, so you can see that they're actually inside the frame there. So I'll go ahead and put these in. I know I don't talk much when I'm crafting. I don't know why, I'm just not, I concentrate too much. I just make sure I push it all the way down, make sure it's all the way in there. All right, so this is what we have so far. Now we need to put on the little shutters. And they're not really, well, they just kind of like are just set on. And these have these little, I should have, there we go. And these are real teeny tiny. So I need a glue. I'll have to probably do this off camera because they are so small. I'm just going to glue one on the frame of the window and then one onto the shutter like this. I mean, you can do it if you want your shutter to stay open all the time. You can do that. I might have mine just a little bit open, but since it's perforated, I was thinking if I can do it in a way that I could be able to shut these so that if I wanted to mail this out, it would be flattened and all they'd have to do is just open them up. So I'm going to work on that and I'll get back to you and see what I come up with. Okay, what I'm going to do is where it's perforated, I'm just going to align that up where I want it to be. So I'm going to put this little shutter where I want it so I'll know where I want my little, oops. And I want it maybe around here. So I'm just going to attach it just like that. Let that set. And make sure I don't set it closed. So I'll just let that set up. See what I did? I don't know if you can see what I did. I just lined it up with the edge of the window. And I'm going to leave these little flaps up and I'm going to let that set. And then once that's set, I'm going to fold it back over. And then I'll take this and then just glue it flat. And hopefully we'll be able to just open it up. And we'll be able to lay it flat to mail. So let me go ahead and let those set up. And then I'm going to put the two on the other side. Okay, and to help me make sure I'm lined up to the other side, I just have a piece of extra chipboard that I'm just laying there. So when I put this one down, it's lined up with the one on the other side. Like so. That way they're lined up as even as I can do. So that's those. So I'll let those set up a little bit more. So there we go. We got our little hinges on. So hopefully this will work. I don't see why it shouldn't, but hopefully it'll work. So let me give those a minute to set up and then, whoops, and I'll attach the shutters. Okay, so I think they set up enough. So let's go ahead and I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the outsides here of these little hinges. But before I do any glue, I had these little pieces that from the cutouts here. I'm just going to set in there so that if any glue seeps out, I don't get glued shut somewhere. So I'm just going to tuck those in there like so. So now I can put my glue on. And then put this where I want it. I want it right under there. Make sure I'm all lined up. There we go. It's a little slippery. Still a little slippery. Oh, and it opens. Okay, I'm not going to mess with that. I'm just going to leave it. And then we'll do this side. Turn this around. Back under there. I was just trying to make them even across, if you're wondering what I was trying to do. I was trying to make them as even as I can. So, now we can open our window. We can open our shutters. And we can close our shutters. Very good. Okay, so that part's done. So the next thing is put our little flower box on. And this comes, the die comes like this, and it has little perforations where you fold it. So you just fold it and all the little perforation marks, and you'll be able to see those. So you have these little tabs here. You're going to glue those like that. There's going to be a front one and a back one, so it'll look like this when it's glued. So let me go ahead and do that. No, this glue doesn't set up very fast, so I'll have to hold it for a little bit. Get it to set. Probably should have used my art glitter glue for this, because that sets up kind of fast. This tacky glue is nice, it gives you a lot of wiggle room, but for when you want quick. Here we go. That's this side. And then I'm going to do the same on this side here. Add a little glue on these flaps. And close it up. And hold it down. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not even in frame. I'm so busy looking at what I'm doing. Not paying attention to the camera. I was just gluing these little tabs onto the end here. Now the die comes with this extra piece here. Now I'm not exactly 100% sure what this extra piece is for, because the die doesn't come with instructions or a picture. So you got to go, when you order it, you'll see samples and you'll see, you know, pictures. So I am just assuming it's for strength. So I was just going to add it to the front just to give it a little extra. Or I guess if you didn't want to have a full garden here, you could just lay your little thing flat like that if you wanted to. But I'm definitely want to have a full little flower garden here. So I'm going to, I could probably just leave this piece off. I was going to just add it. That doesn't hurt. I've cut it out. Might as well use it, huh? Might as well. I've got it. So I'll just add this to it. I should have done it, if I was going to add it, I would have done it normally before I, you know, put this thing all together. But that's okay. It'll still work out. Just line everything up. Yeah. So it looks like this. Now, speaking of keeping things flat for mailing, I know I could leave this flat for mailing. This is not going to lay flat for mailing. So, if I was going to mail this out, I would just use the single one and put something there. But I still needed to know how this would work with the hinges. So that's cute. So I'm going to glue this right to the bottom of the little window there like this. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm just going to put it on the window since I know that's where I want to glue it. And just line it up with the bottom. There we go. Perfect. I'm going to turn it around this way so I can stick my finger in there and push down. So you can see what it looks like. I just lined it up at the bottom of the window. So it looks like I keep going out of frame. I'm so sorry. So now what I'm going to do is I need to find something to stick in the bottom of this so I can put in my flowers. A little piece of foam or something I might have find laying around. But this is how we're looking so far. So let me go ahead and see if I can find a little something to stick in that little flower pot thing and put some flowers in. Okay, well I pulled out a bunch of little flowers that I'm going to work in here. And I found this packet of moss. I don't know why I even have this. I must have been going to be doing a project at one time and I needed moss and I never used it. Well anyway, I'm going to actually put this in the bottom. I'm going to glue some in the bottom and then I'm going to start arranging some flowers in there. And that I'm going to do off camera. And then I'm just going to go ahead and I'll show you what the arrangement looks like when I'm finished. Okay, well I thought I'd try to do this on camera. If it gets too hard for me to do on camera, I'll just pause and do everything off. Well anyway, I pulled out some moss, which I'm finding out right away it is messy. There's little pieces everywhere. So I am going to, I think it'd be easier if I just put the glue in here first. So I'm thinking of sticking some, well maybe not, it might be easier just to glue the moss. I don't know, I've never, let's see how this is going to work. Tuck that in there. I got glue everywhere. I did. I got glue everywhere. Let me see. Do I have a paper towel here? Let's try to get it off there. Well, that's nice and full. So let me just get this out of my way. There we go. Okay, so that's what we have. Now the flowers. I've got scissors. First of all, I need to see how long my stems need to be. I don't want them sticking up, you know, way, way high. It's probably good. So, got these two. I just need a bunch of they're not glued in right now. I'm just placing them just to get an idea of how I want to do that. How many I want to do. Are these too big? So I got smaller ones. I got some little teeny. I got some little ones here. Some little teeny ones. These are smaller. See the big difference? Size. So these are little ones. Maybe the little ones would be cute. Yeah, maybe I'll use the little ones. So let me get all my little ones together. Little. So I do have some of these too. These are nice just to stick in a couple of places, you know, along the side maybe. Some of these. I got some in purple too. I only have the one pink one. So I'm gonna go ahead and play with the flowers off camera. Because it can be a little fiddly. And yeah. And then I'll show you what I come up with my little arrangement. I'm going to cut out some leaves using the ivy dye, and that will also be in the description box below where you can find this at Kokorosa's shop. So I'm just going to be cutting some of these apart, and then I'll be putting them inside the little flower arrangement so we can have a little bit of greenery in there, and then I'll show you how it turns out. Okay, so this is how it turned out. I got the flowers in there, a bunch of flowers, and then the little ivy, and then the shutters. That would close if you didn't have this dimensional. So if your flower box wasn't dimensional, you could fold your shutters all the way, but I'm going to leave them open like that. And then I have my chain going through the tag. So this is how it turned out. It turned out really, really nice. And the dyes that I used are the ivy dye. That's this one here, the ivy dye. And I use the, I think it's called, let me just double check, make sure I give you the right name. It's the domed balcony with, domed balcony with what? I want to say with windows. I always want to call them shutters. It's the dome balcony with windows, and that's this die here. And see, and all the information to these will be in the description box below, along with Kokorosa's store and the 25% coupon code. So I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.